Last season, the Los Angeles Chargers went 12-4 en route to a wild-card spot, making the playoffs, winning one playoff game against the Baltimore Ravens before folding against the New England Patriots. This year, the Chargers hope to win the division and possibly go farther in the playoffs. Can they do it? Let's take a look. The LA Chargers open the season at home against the Indianapolis Colts. That is a game that I had trouble picking because both teams are supremely talented. This is actually a game I'd love to see in the playoffs. Andrew Luck, Phillip Rivers, great battle, good defenses, and I say good defenses now because the Colts defense is much better than it used to be. But ultimately, I see the Chargers edging the Colts out here in Week 1, taking their start to 1-0. Chargers are known for their really bad starts. In September, they don't win many games, and I still can't explain it all these years later. So week 2, I see the Lions beating them somehow, someway, despite the Chargers having superior talent. This will be one of those games that the Lions win when they're not supposed to win. If you remember the Lions beating the Patriots last year, it's something that I can't explain either. But this is what's going to happen. The Chargers are going to find a way to lose this game. Week 3, the Texans come into town, Carson, and the Chargers are going to find a way to win this game at home against the Houston Texans. The Texans are also bad starters. The Chargers have the better offense, the better defense, and they have the better quarterback and coaching. They take this one to go 2-1. They go into Miami week 4. Week 4 is going to be sweltering in Florida. Yes, I'm making a weather prediction. You can mock that all you want. But I see the Dolphins finding a way to win despite not having the same amount of talent. Same thing as the Lions. Now, week 5, I went back and forth on this one. I see the Chargers winning this game. I know they can beat the Broncos. We all know the Broncos are not as good as the Chargers, but it's a division game. And last year, the Broncos won in Carson. The year before that, the Chargers shut them out. So this game is really going to be a coin flip. But once again, I see the Broncos finding a way to win one game against the Chargers this year, and it's going to be the one in Carson, while the Chargers will win the game later in Denver. The Pittsburgh Steelers come into town to take on the Chargers, and I see them getting revenge for last year's Sunday night loss. So the Chargers are 2-4 at this point. You think I'm going to predict them to not make the playoffs? You're wrong. The Chargers go into Nashville, and they pull off a victory over Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. Then the Chargers go into Chicago, and they somehow pull a win over the Chicago Bears. This will be a low-scoring game in which the Chargers defense contains the Bears, and Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa go nuts on the Bears' offensive line. So the Chargers will be 4-4 by this point. Aaron Rodgers comes into town to take on the Chargers in Carson in Week 9. This is going to be a high-fun, high-scoring game, but I see the Chargers overcoming them to continue their winning streak. So by this point, they've won 3 in a row to get themselves back to 5-4. Thursday Night Football in Oakland. This was a game that many people believe the Chargers can lose to the Raiders, mainly because it's a division game, but I don't think the Raiders are ready yet, so I'm going to give this game to the Chargers. Week 10, the Chargers win, so that puts them at 4 wins in a row. They're 6-4, and they've won a lot of good games now. So week 11 in Mexico City, we saw the Chargers finally break the losing streak last year against the Chiefs, and that impressed me a lot, along with their road win in Pittsburgh. This year, I see them beating the Chiefs in Mexico City. There's something about these games on Monday Night Football that the Chiefs do not do well, and it showed last year. It's going to be a big offensive showdown. Bye week comes at a bad time because the Chargers have won 5 in a row by this point. They go into Denver and they get revenge for that game in week 5. So look at the Chargers right now. They've won, according to my picks, they've won 6 in a row. They go into Jacksonville, and this time the heat doesn't bother them because it's not that bad. The Chargers are the ones that are on fire. They pull this win off as well. That's a 9-4 record now, and you know what that means. The Chargers are going to be going to the playoffs. Week 15, they host the Vikings, and they take down the Vikings as well. And the reason why I have them beating the Vikings is because it's a home game in December, and the Chargers have the superior team, superior talent. And if they play the Vikings 10 times, I honestly believe they beat them 7 times. So the Chargers by this point are 10-4. Host the Raiders in week 16. They find a way to beat the Raiders and pull themselves 11-4. So by this point, I have the Chargers winning the division. The Chargers will be division winners, and the game in week 17 will not mean a thing. So the Chiefs will win this one, and both teams will be in the playoffs, but the Chargers will win the AFC West this season. Do you agree with my picks? Do you believe the Chargers will make the playoffs? Do you believe the Chargers will miss the playoffs? Do you think the Chargers win the AFC West, or are the Chiefs gonna repeat as division champions? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think, whether you agree, whether you disagree, and have a good day. And thanks for watching this video.